Heidi ho neighbors, Rado Goji here, and welcome to Squeeze the World Toys. I've got a twofer for you today, as we are continuing our look at the Lupinranger versus Patranger VS Vehicle series. Two vehicles have come out since I last did one of these, and they're both basically counterparts to each other, as you know one would expect at this point. So let's just get to it with the first one here. The first vehicle on the menu here is the Magic Dial Fighter. The Magic Dial Fighter is a Zeppelin of sorts, basically continuing the trend of the Dial Fighters being aerial vehicles. Looks very neat, very sleek, and cool. Got little propellers here. Overall, very nice looking, very cool looking. That's really all you can say about it because, well, much like every other VS vehicle, it doesn't do too much in its normal mode. In fact, I would dare say it does nothing in its normal mode. So, much like before, we just twist the dial here to activate the attack mode. And also move these flaps back and lock them in place. And basically this little ball comes out with a question mark on it. I don't know if the question mark really comes up in this lighting. Yeah, it does. This kind of reminds me of like those Japanese party balls or whatever they're called. The ones they like, you know, hang up and it'll open up and stuff will come out. In any case, the Magic Dial Fighter's main shtick is that it's kind of like a catch-all power. It uses magic to do, well, really whatever the heck it wants to do. The ball you will usually open up and then like some sort of weird magic effect will come up. So you can open it yourself. There's a hand in there. That can be easily removed. This is for the robot mode mostly, but I've seen this do a variety of things like, you know, shoot water or make illusions show up and stuff like that. I'm just going to put the hand back in. Now, one of the main things with these newer VS vehicles is that, unlike the VS vehicles before that just made alternate arms for the Kaiser robots, this one actually makes both an arm and a head unit. So I actually have a partially constructed Lupin Kaiser here, with the body fully constructed and the blue arm. And basically what we'll do on the Magic Dial Fighter here is this whole section will actually remove itself. You can actually open it up and reveal the hand now if you want to as well. And this will clip on, you know, as per normal. So you got like a hand there. And then for this section, basically bring it around like this. These little bars will pop up diagonally like that. The propeller units will come up vertically. And then since we haven't been doing this in a while, let's just go ahead and attach via that port onto the top head port place that we normally put you know, our red Dial Fighter or whatever, but let's zoom in for our dramatic head reveal by just flipping this down to make like kind of a chest plate as well, and the cool looking head. And here we have the combination Lupin Kaiser Magic. I gotta say, it really doesn't do much, but it does look kind of cool. You got the little hand here. It does all kinds of magic gubbins. And the head, I do like the look of the head. I don't know why the robot has a rebreather. That's not very magic-like, but I do like the swooping wing effect that the headdress has there, I suppose. Overall, very nice looking, very cool looking robot mode. I'm just going to keep him back here for now while we go on to the next VS vehicle. And yes, seeing as it is a counterpart to the Magic Dial Fighter, we do have another trigger machine, that being the Trigger Machine Splash, which is number 6 and is a fire engine. Now, one thing that kind of irks me about how it's presented in the show, and this could have changed since I last watched, I'm technically 2 episodes behind at this point. I've watched the one from 2 weeks ago and haven't gotten a chance to see the other one since. But the last episode I saw was where this actually debuted. And even on the box for the Trigger Machine Splash, it seems to be mostly affiliated with the Lupinrangers and not the Patrangers, which is inconsistent and it irks me to no end. I mean, you even got like the the little badge on there for Patranger, not for Lupinranger. But I digress. It does wheel around as per normal. Now you might be thinking to yourself, hey, that actually looks kind of really familiar for some reason. Where have we seen this before? Well, I'll tell you. This is actually a retool of the Trigger Machine Crane. For comparison, here is the Trigger Machine Crane. They use the same, truck bit for it. It even has the same sort of, deployment of the attack mode, and both of them even have a little thing that kind of goes into the little tray in the middle. Now, let me put this back off to the side. The splash does not have something that's just kind of loosely fit in there. It's actually something that's connected to this ladder. In fact, let's just go ahead and deploy the attack mode here by pulling the trigger as per normal. And the spring in there is actually a lot stronger than the one on the crane. If you remember, the crane just kind of like popped up and went like, bleh. This one springs up quite a bit and reveals a little fire extinguisher. You can also extend the ladder. And there's a little fire extinguisher here, and you can even says on the box, make it face up so that it can shoot the fire extinguisher, which is kind of redundant since we already have a water cannon that can also extinguish fire. I don't know. That's pretty much your lot with that as far as the regular vehicle mode. The regular vehicle goes there. Now, obviously, this can make a robot component or an auxiliary robot component, but the only combination I've seen so far, and the only combination it shows in the instructions, is a combination featuring both this and Magic Dial Fighter. So we're going to bring back our Lupinranger here. We're actually going to disconnect the blue arm, put that off to the side. We're going to take the fire extinguisher bit. This will just unclip from the ladder. Plop that back down. Put that on your head, not your head joint, your arm joint. Let me just pan up here. The magic head is actually going to come off. We're going to just put that back where it was on the Magic Dial Fighter. And then the fire extinguisher part, turn it around, you'll see there's the head right there. So this just kind of swings down and like that. And then these flaps will come out to make a chest piece. And then this kind of just pops on to the head part. So there really isn't much of a way we can do a face reveal. We can zoom in on the head though, just for a little bit of consistency there. There we go. So this is the, as far as I've seen, the only combination that the Trigger Machine Splash is featured in, Lupinranger Magic Splash. And he has a water cannon and the magic hand. And that's your lot, really. I think the head has a little cannon that can shoot water as well. It actually looks very nice. All of the red kind of is complemented a bit by the white there. It all just like fits together really, really well. I kind of wish that they had debuted this with just kind of a Patranger splash first, and then kind of went into the super combination here. I kind of have a feeling that since we're about 3/5 of the way into the show, they're gonna start trying to get the two teams to start working together a lot more. I mean, we already had good Kuru Kaiser, but they only used that once. And from there, we were introduced to these guys. But, yeah, I don't know if this has been given back to the Patrangers at any point. They may have done. There's been 2 episodes since then, but, you know, I'll just have to watch them and find out when I get the chance. So that's your lot with these two. I do like them, and they make it a little bit easier to if you're one of those ones who only likes to get the components that they want to make what kind of robot they want. If you want to make this, you only need 3 components and not 4. And these aren't too expensive either. I think the retail price for these guys, if I remember correctly, is maybe around like the equivalent of like $15 each, which is not bad for what we're getting here. I mean, yeah, you'll still have to shell out a little bit more for a good striker, but that's the main component and has electronics and such in it. And these do not. They're all self-contained things that can be added on, and I do like the concept of just, you know, buying the components you want. I mean, I've bought all the components I can up to this point, and I still have Jackpot Striker technically on back order. I'm sure they'll let me know if they don't get the rest of their stock in. They're still waiting for the rest of their stock to come in from the distributor. Either way, I'm happy with this. They may not look like much on their own, but when they do come together, it does look really nice. I just wish that it was a little bit more consistent on the show side of things, but for what this is, it does look very cool, and I'm glad I picked these up. So I do recommend getting them if you're collecting for this series. I don't really see anything yet so far I don't recommend picking up. But either way, that is the Magic Dial Fighter and the Trigger Machine Splash. And I've been Radio Goji, and I'll be here next time. Join me, won't you?